And just because
there's a lot of people, 50, I feel like he don't have to say nothing, but 50's crazy. He's been like this his whole life. When he's on the block, oh shit, 50's coming.
I don't trust nobody. In Hollywood specifically, when you get there, a lot of people don't know how to say no. That's the difference between New York City and California.
What if 50 Cent wasn't just warning Jim Jones, but setting up the biggest hip-hop takedown the game's seen in years? That's the question echoing all over the culture right now.
Chase balling. Damn, like, I gotta find another mobile. You know what I mean? And then slowly but surely, I got out of that phase of just trying to chase balling and make music that I could continue to make money. You know what I mean? And I do believe a hit will come, and a few hits have came since.
It all started when 50 posted and then instantly deleted a cryptic message that sent the entire industry into panic mode. His post said, "Some of y'all better chill before I remind the city what really happened." No hashtags, no names, just a cold-blooded warning written with purpose.
Take away anything that he's done in the game. I can't, you heard? And that's not it. But as a competitive man, that's all I'm doing is popping my shit. And this is what hip-hop is about. But for the most part, I got no problem with Nas. Shouts to all of them guys.
Within minutes, the internet went wild trying to decode it, and fans quickly connected the dots. It dropped right after Jim Jones threw slick shade during an interview, saying, "A lot of these dudes be acting tough for the cameras. We know who really outside." That might have sounded like regular talk to casual listeners, but insiders knew exactly what that meant. It was a direct shot at 50, one of the most feared and respected names when it comes to keeping things real.
Jim don't got a green piece of paper. He don't got none of them kind of songs that make cry.
And while 50's known to clap back instantly, this time he played it different. His move felt calculated, almost surgical. The timing, too sharp to be coincidence.
A couple of them, but not 20 of them.
That's a venue with 100
catalog.
That's a venue with 100 niggas.
You better check my jacket. You better check my jacket. You better check my jacket.
Just days before that message, 50 was on stage in Miami with Camron at LIV nightclub. The two performed side by side while flashes lit up the room and the crowd lost its mind. That moment wasn't just nostalgia, it was a signal.
The people want you up here, man, on the No Funny Shit couch.
You better check my jacket, man.
Oh, man.
Cam and Jim's tension goes back nearly 20 years, so seeing 50 and Cam together had fans screaming, "Oh, it's wartime." That performance wasn't random, it was chess. And when 50 followed up with that chilling caption, "Remind the city," people knew something heavy was brewing. Insiders from both sides claim that 50's warning came right after he caught wind of Jim's latest slick talk and decided to make it public that the game board had officially been flipped.
Me and Jim ain't in the same league. Me and Jim don't do the same things.
Yeah, y'all don't.
I am a bar master.
That's where it's different, though.
I am a lyrical technician.
Uh-huh.
I've been on joints with some of the best MCs in the world.
Uh-huh.
Big, Hove, Black Thought.
The fact that 50 deleted that post just hours later only made the mystery even deeper. In the 50's world, deleting a post doesn't mean regret. It means the next move's already locked and loaded. Every silence, every deletion, it's all part of his playbook. And if you know 50, you know he doesn't move without a plan. You can't understand this moment without knowing the long, messy history behind it.
There must be some type of misconception or what's that word when it comes to Jim Jones and what Jim Jones have done in this game. A lot of these rappers,
we made him take the darkies off.
A lot of these rappers have done a tremendous job, and I take nothing away from them, but they forget I got a hell of a catalog.
The tension between G-Unit and Dipset wasn't just some rap beef, it was a full-blown power struggle for New York streets. Queens versus Harlem, hustle versus hustle, business versus bravado. Even when the hits stopped, the egos didn't. Camron and Jim Jones's partnership was always complicated. Cam built the Dipset empire, but Jim wanted to expand it. He wanted his own crown. Underneath all the flashy fits and pink Lambos, there was a quiet war for control that never ended. And earlier this year, Cam finally said it plain on his own "It Is What It Is" podcast. He revealed, "Our time together as a group only lasted 7 years, but the dramas lasted nearly 2 decades. He called out Jim's endless sneak dissies, 17 years of subs, sneak shots, and records like Frenemies. Cam sounded like he'd moved on, but Jim, he was still holding that wound wide open. For Cam, the past was history. For Jim, it was unfinished business. That's why 50's link up with Cam wasn't some random reunion, it was strategic. 50 saw the perfect opportunity to stir a fire that was already burning low. Insiders are convinced that 50's Remind the City threat wasn't about a single interview. It was about control.
Definition, Jimmy, because when you think, and if I ask anybody in the streets of New York, like, give me some adjective or definition of Jim Jones, what do you think one of the words would be?
I would hope a survivor, a visionary, a philanthropist, a person with a big heart, person that stand on 10 toes. Not perfect. He's a perfect example of what could happen for you in life if you believe in yourself.
When 50 hit that stage with Camron in front of thousands and then dropped that warning right after, it flipped the whole narrative overnight. Suddenly, Jim Jones wasn't just another rapper running his mouth. He looked like a man being pushed out of two kingdoms, one he helped build and another he'll never be able to touch. And let's be real, the fact that 50 waited until the cameras were rolling in Miami before making his move, that wasn't an outburst. That was a mission. Jim's been under pressure before, but never like this. His image took a heavy blow after the Dipset verses, the Elox vs. battle back in 2021. That night, Jadakiss turned the whole event into a lyrical massacre. The LOX came sharp, word for word, while Dipset looked scattered and unprepared. Fans called it embarrassing, like watching old legends lose their spark right on stage. Jim tried to clean it up later, saying it was all friendly competition, but the internet wasn't buying it. Viewers saw the reality. The LOX were tight, focused, and hungry, while Dipset seemed more like a fashion show gone wrong. Since then, Jim's been stuck in recovery mode, doing interviews, brand deals, and trying to rebrand himself through style instead of sound. But the critics haven't gone easy. They say his recent work feels manufactured, claiming the raw Harlem grit that once made him stand out has turned into polished confidence and luxury filters.
We've been together longer than I've seen a lot of people be married. You know what I mean?
And you're not afraid of commitment.
No, obviously not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously not.
Because usually that's the thing.
Obviously not. Like, I'm not even the boss in my household. I'm committed, you heard? But
were you, did you, because
you know what I mean? People think you got all this money. Yeah, I do got money, but if I don't hustle every day to pay these bills the same way you got to work every day to pay your bills, it'll be detrimental for me the same way it'd be detrimental for you. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm constantly on the hustle to make more money. That's what life is about. You know what I mean? Money fixes a lot of things. You know what I mean? They say money don't buy happiness, but it made me smile a lot of times.
That's exactly why 50's post hit so hard. It didn't just shade Jim, it cut right at the heart of what he's been trying to prove, that he's still authentic. When 50 says, "Remind the City," he's not talking about some ancient rap beef. He's talking about real memories, those unspoken street stories and business secrets that built reputations and broke friendships in New York. The idea that 50 might pull the curtain back on something Jim's been desperate to keep buried, that's what's got the whole game talking. Fans are breaking down every word, every emoji, every deleted post. Could it be about money moves, loyalty flips inside Dipset, street alliances gone bad? Nobody knows. But the fear's real because one thing's certain: 50 doesn't bluff. When he speaks, it's usually because he's already sitting on the receipts, and history shows his every move is calculated, not chaotic. 50 Cent never moves without a plan, ever.
You heard? I fight all my battles on my own. I take losses and I take my wins the same way. You heard? The same smirk, just like this.
The silence after that deleted post, the timing of his link up with Cam, even the tone of that caption, every detail felt like it was perfectly staged to shake the culture without saying too much. People close to G-Unit say this wasn't 50 firing back, it was him opening the first move in a bigger game. Word is, he's allegedly working on something major, a full-blown expose, maybe even a televised or documentary-style project tied to his growing media empire. That's why insiders believe this warning wasn't personal, it was business, but with that 50 Cent twist. He's the king of turning real-life tension into high-rated content. If this really is a setup for a public reckoning, it's exactly the kind of move that blends entertainment and revelation. Two things 50's been mastering for decades. He doesn't just start drama, he turns it into profit. Meanwhile, Jim's position keeps getting shakier by the day. Just weeks before all this chaos, he was out here reigniting old New York beefs, throwing light jabs at Styles P and Jadakiss, trying to prove he's still running the city. But the plan backfired, badly. Styles P hit back with a cold, effortless line. "Me and Jim don't do the same thing. I'm a bar master." That one sentence went viral, painting Jim as a guy chasing attention instead of earning respect. Now, every time he talks, people side-eye it, wondering if he's just forcing relevance. And the timing of everything? Too perfect to ignore. Cam refusing to reconcile, 50 and Cam sharing that Miami stage, Jim's endless interviews, and then dead silence from 50 after the warning. It's like a domino setup that only 50 could have arranged. Even the optics are poetic. 50 and Cam performing together in front of flashing lights while Jim's nowhere to be seen. That image alone speaks volumes. New York's power balance has shifted. The same city that once crowned Dipset royalty is now watching their former general stand alone, while the crowd cheers for the very men who used to be his rivals. Word on the street is 50's been using Cam's old resentment as part of his grand plan. These two have found a common rival in Jim, and that shared target just reignited both of their flames. Insiders say Cam's loving this moment. It feels like poetic justice for him. After years of tension, he's finally getting the upper hand on Jim without dropping a single diss track. No verses, no subliminals, just presence, power, and timing. And for 50, this is classic Curtis Jackson strategy. He's reminding the whole culture that he's still the ultimate puppet master, the one man who can flip the internet upside down with a single caption. Every move, every silence, every word feels intentional. It's like he's playing chess while everyone else is still learning checkers. Meanwhile, Jim looks trapped. If he claps back publicly, he risks 50 unloading whatever secrets he's been hinting at. But if he stays quiet, that silence reads like fear. Either way, he loses. And that's exactly the kind of setup 50 has mastered throughout his career. He's built his legacy around psychological warfare, making people destroy themselves without him having to say much. Even longtime media insiders are calling this one of the 50's most calculated takedowns since his legendary battles with the likes of Ja Rule and Diddy. But what makes this one hit harder is how subtle it's been. No diss records, no interviews, no messy rants, just one deleted sentence that flipped the balance of attention in hip-hop overnight. That's power. Now every major outlet's covering it, breaking down 50's caption like a coded message, connecting old dots between G-Unit, Dipset, and the street ties that built their names. Even the fans who lived through the original rivalry are saying this feels different, heavier. The tension this time doesn't feel like entertainment. It feels like something personal, something that could shake foundations. Because if 50's words, remind the city, mean what people think they mean, then what's coming next isn't just a beef, it's a reveal. A moment that could rewrite reputations, expose old deals, and shift how the streets remember these names forever. For now, Jim's camp is quiet, too quiet. And 50? He's gone completely ghost. But in the 50's world, silence is never peace. It's the calm before the explosion. If history's taught us anything about Curtis Jackson, it's that he never fires a warning shot without a reason, which means whatever truth he's holding on to, it's coming. And when it drops, the whole city's gonna feel it. 50 Cent didn't just throw shade, he lit a fuse. And if history tells us anything, that fuse is still burning and the explosion's coming soon. 50 doesn't delete posts out of guilt, he deletes them to reload. Every pause, every silence, every vanished post is part of his strategy. That's why this latest move feels like the calm before a full-blown storm. We've seen this same setup before, and every time it ends with chaos shaking the culture. When 50 went at Ja Rule, it wasn't just beef, it ended a whole era of hip-hop radio. When he turned his sights on Diddy, the conversation shifted from competition to full-on corporate exposure. So when insiders say this situation isn't just another round of social media drama, they mean it. What we're seeing right now looks like groundwork for something massive, a next-level takedown that's already in motion. If the past repeats itself, 50's next move won't come through a diss track. It'll come through strategy, precision, and pure media control. His attacks don't just hit, they redefine. And this time, what makes it even more dangerous for Jim is who's standing next to 50, Camron. Their alliance isn't built on nostalgia, it's built on revenge disguised as reconciliation. Just think about it. Cam recently claimed that Jim helped him write some of his early albums. That statement shook the room. For many, it sounded like a slick way to downplay Jim's legacy, to paint him not as a leader, but a supporting act. Jim denied it instantly, but the damage was already done. Once that seed's planted, the public starts rewriting the narrative, and suddenly Jim looks like a background player in the very empire he helped build. Now add 50 into that mix, and the picture gets dark. With 50 amplifying Cam's energy, this whole thing feels less like coincidence and more like a coordinated strike. The timing says it all. 50 linked with Cam right after months of whispers about Dipset's internal tension. He knew exactly what buttons to press. And when they hit that Miami stage together, the performance might have looked casual, but every move carried meaning. The chemistry was cool on the surface, but beneath it was pure calculation. 50's grin as Cam performed wasn't just joy. It was satisfaction, like a man watching his rival's empire crumble from the inside. This wasn't about music, it was about message. Together, 50 and Cam are reminding the entire culture that alliances built on revenge, resentment, and unfinished business are the most dangerous kind. From a business point of view, the difference between 50, Cam, and Jim couldn't be more obvious. 50's empire is massive. He's running television hits, liquor brands, and production deals stacking up in the millions. The man turned beef into business and drama into dynasty. Camron, meanwhile, made a smooth pivot into sports talk and media, building real traction with his platform and proving he can win outside of rap. But Jim? He's still trying to prove he belongs in the same conversation. Sure, his 9 Billboard 200 entries show consistency, but none ever hit #1. Compare that to Nas. The same artist Jim once bragged he could outshine, Nas has 27 Billboard entries and 6 chart toppers. That alone tells the story. The gap isn't just about music, it's about power, legacy, and structure. That's why some people are starting to believe 50's warning wasn't just aimed at Jim Jones. What if it's bigger than that? What if he's calling out the whole industry? When 50 said, "Some of y'all better chill before I remind the city what really happened," it suddenly hits different. Maybe he's not talking about one man, but a whole culture that's gotten too comfortable faking it for clout. According to insiders, 50's team has been quietly reaching out to old contacts, digging through paperwork, revisiting early Dipset contracts, and uncovering deals that never saw daylight. And if even a piece of those rumors are true, Jim could be facing more than embarrassment. He could be staring down full-blown exposure, financial, personal, and professional. People around Jim's circle are already acting nervous, and that speaks volumes. For a man who's usually loud, visible, and confident, his sudden silence says everything. We've seen this movie before. When 50 starts posting and deleting, people panic. It's crisis mode every time. A former label insider even told reporters that Jim's management has been monitoring socials 24/7 like it's damage control. That alone says a lot. Silence can sometimes look like power. But when 50's the one behind it, silence usually means somebody's been warned to stay still until the storm hits. And yet, 50's still saying nothing. No posts, no replies, no clarifications, just quiet confidence. And anyone who's followed his career knows that when 50 goes quiet, it's never over. No interviews, no captions, no follow-ups, just the chilling echo of that one threat, still hanging heavy in the air. Every blog, every outlet, every YouTube channel keeps adding new layers of speculation. Some say 50's gearing up for a full-blown documentary under one of his production companies. Others believe he's putting together an expose, something that'll finally tie the old G-Unit and Dipset eras to all the betrayals, secret deals, and loyalty breaks still haunting the game today. Sounds wild, right? But not when you remember who we're talking about. This is 50 Cent, a man who built an empire out of revenge. He doesn't hold grudges, he monetizes them. For him, humiliation isn't payback, it's promotion. Every feud, every takedown, every silence is a business move. Even small slip-ups turn into headlines under 50's shadow. Behind the scenes, sources claim Jim's camp is divided, some telling him to fight back, others begging him to stay silent and not give 50 more ammunition. But the problem is, when 50 Cent calls you out and you go quiet, that's not peace, it's pressure. The kind that builds up until something finally explodes. Industry insiders are whispering that the tension's already hurting Jim's business. Brand partners are nervous. They don't want smoke from 50's side. A few longtime collaborators have reportedly started keeping their distance too, and the fear isn't that 50's gonna drop a diss track. No, the fear is that he's gonna drop receipts. There are whispers about everything, from old recordings to forgotten studio tapes, even archived interviews and private phone calls from the early 2000s. Some claim legal paperwork tied to Dipset's early contracts is being quietly revisited. Nobody knows what's real yet, but the rumors alone have the industry on edge. And that's the thing. None of it even has to be confirmed. Just the fact that people are talking proves how powerful 50 still is. One deleted post, one cryptic warning, and suddenly the whole culture starts digging for truth. And if those old files or tapes really exist, the fallout won't just hit Jim. It could shake the whole industry to its core. Because at this point, it's not about bragging rights anymore. It's about legacy and control. 50's moved way past petty drama. He's positioning himself as the gatekeeper of New York hip-hop history, the man who decides who gets crowned and who gets exposed. By stepping back into this arena, 50's making it clear he's not here to compete, he's here to remind. Jim might have thought this was another back and forth, but he's walked straight into a game that's rigged against him. Because when 50s are in play, the rules don't favor emotion, they favor strategy. That warning post was never about one shady comment or one slick line. It was about reminding everybody who truly writes the narrative. And now, the real question isn't if 50's going to respond, it's when and how. Because every minute of silence from him feels like tension building in the air. Every deleted post sounds like a ticking countdown, each one bringing us closer to whatever storm he's about to unleash. The deeper we look, the clearer it gets. 50 didn't just warn Jim Jones, he declared war. And in this game, the first casualty is always the truth. So what do you think is coming next? Is 50 about to drop something that changes the game forever? Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.